morning of May 27th, 1997, a school janitor woke up early for his job at Tomogaoka Junior High School. The sun had not yet risen, as he had to be at school hours before the students would arrive. As he walked up to the school's main front gate, he saw something odd on the fence, something that hadn't been there before. It was dark, so he took a few steps closer to it. What he saw would change his life forever. It was a severed head impaled on the gate with empty eye sockets and a mouth cut from ear to ear. The head belonged to an 11-year-old special education student who attended the school named Jun Hase. 3 days before his head was found, he was abducted by another Japanese student. We'll come to learn his true name later, but for now, we'll call him Boy A. Boy A lured him to Tank Mountain, telling him there was a giant turtle there. Jun followed, where he was savagely murdered by Boy A. Boy A had many plans left to enact, but this is not where his story began. He was born on July 7th, 1982. Not much is known about his early life, but what we do know is that before age 12 he had already begun committing acts of animal cruelty. It is said that he once lined up a row of frogs in the street and rode over them on his bicycle. He also brought cutting weapons to school, claiming that it helped ease his irritation. From a young age, there was a darkness within Boy A that went unnoticed by his family and friends. This led him to committing the ultimate tragedy. Boy A decided to escalate his twisted urges from animal cruelty to harming fellow humans in March 1997. He had written in his diary, "When I advanced to junior high school, I'd already become bored of killing cats and gradually found myself fantasizing about how it would feel to murder human beings like me." He had already assaulted multiple girls leading up to this, even stabbing one in the stomach, though she recovered. But Ayaka Yamashita was not so lucky. Boy A hit her in the back of the head with a hammer on March 16th, 1997. She was only 10 years old. She lived about a week longer, succumbing to her injuries on March 23rd. After the March 16th attack, he wrote in his diary, "I carried out sacred experiments today to confirm how fragile human beings are. I brought the hammer down when the girl turned to face me. I think I hit her a few times, but I was too excited to remember." The following week, on March 23rd, he added, "This morning my mom told me, 'Poor girl, the girl attacked seems to have died.' There is no sign of me being caught. I thank you, Bamoi Doshikin, for this. Please continue to protect me." It is not known what Bamoi Doshikin refers to, but it's safe to say it is a being he worships. Boy A had now gotten away with murder at only 14 years old. At this point, he was ready to take his next step even deeper into the darkness. He dons the new alias, Sato Sakakibara. As stated in the beginning of the video, Sato lured an 11-year-old boy, Jun Hase, to Tank Mountain on May 24th, 1997. He killed him, then left the body on the mountain to get a handsaw from his grandfather's house. Upon his return, he decapitated Jun's body, placed his head in a bag, and left the rest of his remains on the mountain. He brought the head to his grandfather's house, where he committed truly abhorrent acts. He drank some blood from the bag and pleasured himself on the head before cleaning and disfiguring it. He gave the head a Joker-esque smile, sending a message to authorities that he was not just an average murderer. On top of this, he also stuffed a handwritten note into Jun's mouth. The note was written with red ink and said the following: "This is the beginning of the game. Try to stop me if you can, stupid police. I desperately want to see people die. It is a thrill for me to commit murder. A bloody judgment is needed for my years of great bitterness." He signed the note as Sato Sakakibara, and there was also misspelled English found on the note, likely meant to have said school killer. The style of this murder is very reminiscent of the infamous Zodiac killer, and Sakakibara was perhaps even trying to imitate him. He was taunting police with letters and clues just as the Zodiac had. Sakakibara had his sights set even larger. On June 6, 1997, Sakakibara sent a letter to the newspaper Kobe Shinbun. He confessed to the murder of Jun Hase and threatened more killings. A second letter was sent containing a 3-page, 1,400-word letter written in red ink. The note was again signed Sato Sakakibara, the same characters that were used on the message stuffed in the boy's mouth. The note began with, "Now it's the beginning of a game," and "I am putting my life at stake for the sake of this game. If I'm caught, I'll probably be hanged. Police should be angrier and more tenacious in pursuing me. It's only when I give pain to people that I can ease my own pain. The Japanese people were panicking at this point, knowing there was a raging killer on the loose. This was not a common situation in Japan, and no one knew what to do. In the panic and chaos of this event, the Japanese media misreported his alias as Onibara instead of Sakakibara. This enraged Sato, compelling him to write yet another letter, which said, "From now on, if you misread my name or spoil my mood, I will kill 3 vegetables a week. If you think I can only kill children, you are greatly mistaken." Around this time, dead animals were found in the area and were later linked to Sakakibara's doing. The animals contained a headless bird and a cat with its paws chopped off. On June 27, 1997, Sakakibara was arrested in connection with the Jun Hase murder. He may have aspired to be like the Zodiac killer, but he was not able to elude capture as the Zodiac had. He was captured just 1 month after committing Jun's murder. Later, he confessed to the Ayaka Yamashita murder as well as the assault of 3 other girls. But do not confuse his confession for guilt. If he were given the chance, he would do it all over again. He was prosecuted as Boy A, as Japanese law at the time wouldn't allow information to be released about juvenile offenders. This caused turmoil within Japan, and in the year 2000, the age for criminal responsibility was lowered from age 16 to 14, the same age as Sakakibara was when he committed his crimes. In 2004, just 7 years after the murders took place, Sakakibara was released on a provisional basis at age 21. A full release followed in 2005. In June 2015, Sakakibara released an autobiography titled Zeka. Many people fought against this, including Jun Hase's family, but it was still published. He claimed to express regret for the crimes he committed, and even retold the murders in graphic detail. Despite the initial horror the Japanese people felt towards this case, it quickly reached the top of the Japanese bestseller lists. Months later, he set up a vanity website with ways to contact him, as well as showing off bizarre photoshopped images of a young male, presumably Sakakibara himself. Not only had he committed these horrible atrocities, but now he was profiting off them. The Japanese people were enraged once again, and the tabloid Shukan Post unlawfully publicized his real name, Shinichiro Azuma, as well as his location and occupation at the time. Up to that point, he had only been known as Boy A, Sato Sakakibara, and Onibara. Shinichiro could no longer continue to profit off his crimes without consequence, now that the secrecy of his identity had been revealed. Since then, he has not brought any more attention to himself, and the website is now shut down. At the time of this video's recording, he is now 41 years old and worked as a mechanic in Tokyo in 2022. It is said that he's still under police supervision to this day, hopefully preventing him from committing any more atrocities in his lifetime.